For 3 years, Israeli spies smuggled weapons into Iran piece by piece. Artificial intelligence sifted through mountains of intelligence data. Drones were hidden in vehicles and positioned near missile sites. Then, on Friday night, Operation Rising Lion began. This is the inside story of the most sophisticated intelligence operation in modern warfare. This wasn't a spontaneous military strike. This was the culmination of years of intelligence work by Israel's most elite operatives. The Mossad had been planning this exact operation since 2022, positioning assets, gathering intelligence, and waiting for the perfect moment. When that moment came, they didn't just attack Iran's nuclear program. They revolutionized modern warfare itself. Welcome to the age of AI-assisted espionage, where algorithms choose targets and smuggled drones execute precision strikes. Forget everything you know about traditional military intelligence. Israel's attack on Iran represents the first time artificial intelligence was used to systematically select human targets for assassination. This isn't science fiction. This is Tuesday, June 18th, 2025. An intelligence officer involved in the operation revealed that AI helped them quickly sift through troves of data they had obtained. Mountains of surveillance footage, intercepted communications, financial records, and movement patterns, all processed by algorithms that could identify targets faster than any human analyst. The AI system categorized potential targets into leadership, military, civilian, and infrastructure groups. Then it cross-referenced threat levels, accessibility, and strategic value to create kill lists that would maximize damage while minimizing Israeli casualties. Since 2022, Mossad agents have been living double lives inside Iran. Some were Israeli operatives with deep cover identities. Others were Iranian nationals recruited through blackmail, ideology, or financial incentives. These weren't tourists or business people. These were trained intelligence operatives establishing networks, identifying targets, and pre-positioning weapons for this exact moment. Every coffee shop meeting, every seemingly casual conversation, every mundane business transaction was building toward Friday night. Former Mossad research director Seema Shine confirmed that agents positioned weapons close to Iranian surface-to-air missile sites. For 3 years, Iranians unknowingly lived and worked mere meters from Israeli weapons designed to kill them. How do you smuggle precision weapons into one of the world's most heavily monitored countries? The answer reveals the sophistication of Israeli intelligence capabilities. Small armed drones were disassembled and hidden in vehicle compartments, shipped as commercial goods and transported by unsuspecting couriers who never knew they were carrying instruments of war. Iranian Police Chief General Ahmadreza Radan later admitted that several vehicles carrying mini-drones and some tactical drones have been discovered. But this was after the damage was done. The weapons had already served their purpose. Each smuggled drone represented months of planning: route mapping, courier recruitment, customs infiltration, and positioning near high-value targets. The logistics required rivaled multinational corporations. Israel's path to Friday's success began with their October 2024 airstrikes, which highlighted the weakness of Iranian air defenses. But the real intelligence breakthrough was what happened afterward. Those October strikes weren't just military operations, they were reconnaissance missions. Every Iranian response was monitored, analyzed, and fed into AI systems that map defensive capabilities, response times, and communication patterns. By November, Netanyahu had ordered the attack plans, but the AI analysis had begun in October, processing every detail of Iran's defensive reactions to build the perfect attack strategy. This represents a new model of warfare, using limited strikes to gather intelligence, then using AI to process that intelligence into surgical attack plans. This wasn't random violence. Israeli intelligence spent months creating detailed profiles of Iran's top military leaders and nuclear scientists. The AI system didn't just identify targets, it learned their daily routines, their security protocols, their human weaknesses. General Hossein Salami, head of Iran's Revolutionary Guard, and General Mohammad Bagheri, Chief of Staff of Armed Forces, were killed because algorithms determined they posed the greatest threat to Israeli security. At least 8 Revolutionary Guard members, including the head of Iran's missile program, died in a single strike on an underground bunker. The precision required suggested Israeli intelligence knew exactly where they would be at exactly the right time. These weren't battlefield casualties. These were targeted assassinations based on AI analysis of human behavior pattern. This operation builds on decades of Israeli innovation in unconventional warfare. In the 2000s, the Stuxnet computer virus destroyed Iranian centrifuges, the first cyber weapon to cause physical destruction. From cyber warfare to AI-assisted assassination, Israel has consistently pioneered new forms of conflict that other nations struggle to counter. Iran's traditional military defenses were designed for conventional warfare, not algorithmic targeting. The 2024 elimination of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh with a bomb in a Tehran guest house demonstrated Israel's ability to strike anywhere in Iran. Friday's operation scaled that capability across dozens of simultaneous targets. Each operation taught lessons that informed the next. Stuxnet revealed cyber vulnerabilities. The Haniyeh assassination proved physical access. Operation Rising Lion combined everything into systematic destruction. Israel's strategy borrowed from Ukraine's recent success against Russia's strategic bomber fleet. Earlier this month, Ukrainian forces destroyed nearly a third of Moscow's bombers using cheaply made drones sneaked into Russian territory. The lesson was clear: sophisticated air defenses can't stop simple drones if they're already inside enemy territory. Israel applied this concept to Iran's missile transport and launch vehicles. By pre-positioning small drones near Iranian missile sites, Israel eliminated the need for complex air penetration missions. The weapons were already inside Iran's defensive perimeter, waiting for activation. This represents the democratization of precision warfare. What once required expensive aircraft and complex missions can now be achieved with consumer-grade drones and patient infiltration. Israeli intelligence enhanced their surprise by exploiting Iranian assumptions about diplomatic timing. A sixth round of nuclear talks had been planned for Sunday in Oman, leading Iranian officials to believe Israel wouldn't attack during ongoing negotiations. This calculated deception allowed Israeli operatives to position assets and prepare strikes, while Iranian leadership focused on diplomatic preparations rather than military threats. Netanyahu activated Operation Rising Lion on Friday after notifying Trump, but before informing other allies. The timing was designed to maximize tactical surprise while maintaining US support. Modern warfare increasingly relies on psychological manipulation, making enemies believe negotiations are proceeding while preparing for systematic destruction. The brilliance of Israel's strategy was sequential. First, neutralize air defenses, then enjoy freedom to operate across Iranian airspace. Pre-positioned drones eliminated surface-to-air missile sites in the opening minutes. With Iranian air defenses crippled, Israeli warplanes could fly over Iran with relative impunity, bombing nuclear sites and eliminating targets that would normally be protected by multiple defensive layers. This created a tactical situation where Iran's most valuable assets became accessible to conventional airstrikes. The country's defensive strategy collapsed within hours of the operation's beginning. By the time Iran mustered a response, their ability to retaliate had been greatly diminished through systematic destruction of military capabilities. Seema Shine revealed that Mossad works with a mix of people, both locals and Israelis, to position weapons and gather intelligence. This means Iranian citizens were recruited to participate in attacks against their own country. Some were ideological converts opposed to the Iranian regime. Others were blackmailed or financially incentivized. All provided the local knowledge necessary for foreign operatives to function inside Iran. The scale of this network suggests years of careful recruitment and management. Every successful operation required Iranians willing to betray their own military and government. This human element remains crucial even in the age of AI warfare. Algorithms can process data and identify targets, but human agents must still position weapons and confirm intelligence. As I finish writing this script, the implications are still unfolding. Israel didn't just attack Iran. They demonstrated that artificial intelligence can systematically eliminate human targets with mathematical precision. They proved that 3 years of patient intelligence work can neutralize decades of military investment. Most terrifying of all, they showed that any nation with sufficient AI capabilities can now wage this kind of war. The age of algorithmic assassination has begun. Operation Rising Lion will be studied in military academies for decades, not just for its tactical success, but for proving that the future of warfare belongs to nations that can best integrate artificial intelligence with human intelligence. Iran's nuclear program may be set back years, but the precedent for AI-assisted assassination is now established. The question isn't whether other nations will develop these capabilities. The question is, who will they target next?